Pros building on the first film. Well, Epic came to me with a couple different ideas about how they want to build it, and we were brainstorming some things. We locked in on one. We wanted to expand on Benny's, background a little more, give the viewers more of that, and then so we went with it. And then we shot that in LA, and I feel like we did a good job on what we were trying to accomplish. Yeah, a little bit. Current slasher films paid a little bit of paid a little bit of like ideas for me, but ultimately it was a mix of that and then what I grew up watching. So the typical slasher films where you have that final girl and you have your villain. So a mix of both of those things kind of paved the way for me with this one. I think they have only because I feel like people that grew up watching those where, I feel like it started in like the 70s, 80s, and those people that grew up watching those are all adults now, so they kind of want to watch those again. So we have this big wave of people that are really just trying to get back into what they kind of grew up watching. So which is why I created this film. I just like the simplicity of it all. It's very simple, and then you can also mix in some things of, some cliffhangers and some things that kind of get people excited throughout watching the film. And there's not craziness going on. It's just very straightforward. And then you can also throw in some cliffhangers or some plot twists and things of that nature. I From setting them apart, I just was working with Jason, and I was just like, we have to make this killer his own, put him in his own lane. Let's come up with some character traits, some mannerisms, how he moves his head, how he walks, how he, kind of blinks his eyes, anything like that. Let's just come up with, different character traits. As far as his mannerisms, we know two things about it. We know he has this disorder because he's in a mental hospital. We know he has like this flashbacks of when he's like a kid, and then he goes from like a little kid to this adult where he's kind of going back and forth throughout the two personality traits throughout the film. So let's kind of play on that and kind of put that in the back of your mind as you're playing this character. And we were able to kind of execute on that and kind of develop some things prior to filming. Silent killers. I like Jason and Friday the 13th, and then I also like Michael Myers. Those are probably biggest, um, one of my two of my favorite ones growing up. Yeah, I took a lot of like, I took a little bits of some clowns. I took a little bit of, we, of Jason and then Michael Myers because they're just this big, you know, kind of robotic movements, per se, when they killed, and then also, just kind of like he had that kind of playfulness about him. So I kind of drew from a little bit of all of those when kind of deciding on his mannerisms. Any film that impressed me, I really liked Hard Eyes is good. What other ones? I like Terrifiers are good. What other ones? There's a couple I'm kind of drawing a blank right now, but there's some good ones that are going out. I liked what was it? X Project X, not Project, but it's like X with Jenna Ortega is in it. I really like that one as well. I think that was like a 70s based film.